What are the best Yu-Gi-Oh strategies in under $50? Big dog, whether you're new, returning to the game, or just wanted to pick up something cheap, I'm going to be giving you some really good budget decks that you can be playing right now that are $50. My Twitter has actually been going crazy about some top budget decks. So of course, if you want to get inspired by some more amazing decks and follow your boy on Twitter, go ahead and do so. And if you stick to the end of the video, these strategies get stronger and stronger. The purpose of this particular video is not only to show new players some cool mechanics to be able to play around, it's also a video where players can pick up affordable decks that they like that are actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump on it. What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. It is Update Monday, my friend. Another week of kicking rheumatoid arthritis' ass. But one thing I want to talk to you guys about is dealing with sickness. Ironically, before my rheumatoid arthritis, my immune system was strong. I can actually count on my hands how many times that I was sick. It's probably this many. But then, unfortunately, because I do have RA, I am taking immune suppressants, which makes my immune system weaker. Unfortunately, that has left me sick as a dog. But more importantly, has given me the insight that, hey, when you're sick, relax. Being sick isn't something that you should take lightly no matter what it is. Also, keep in mind that even though you may be perfectly fine, you can be harming somebody else out there. Bro, just because you too strong and subscribe don't mean that old grandma can handle the business. Stay safe. But more importantly, ironically, being sick is the perfect time to be able to relax, reset, grab on some booty if you can, consensually, and take a positive outlook on life because you will be better. Trust me, big dog, everybody's getting sick right now. You're gonna be all right. But one thing that is completely sick is something that I'm going to be talking about today. It is these budget decks that are under $50. And I won't be talking about the structure decks. I mean, I won't just list off 5 different structure decks for you, because the first one I do want to talk about is that if you are getting into the game, these structure decks are really good. Okay, so I got Structure Deck Fire King, Structure Deck Trap Tricks, Structure Deck Crimson King, and Structure Deck Branded. If you are going that route, you can pick up every single one of those structure decks. 3 of them are roughly about $30. And personally, I think that that's a fine beginning point for most Yu-Gi-Oh players, because these particular structure decks do give you powerful hand traps like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, as well as Droll and Lockbird. And the best thing about it, most of these strategies are upgradable. Take, for example, Fire King is actually the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. You will not be that good with Fire King. Playing the best version of Fire King does require a lot of money, but you'd be perfectly fine playing just the structure deck or even Fire King Tri-Brigade as a budget Yu-Gi-Oh player. Branded is also a pretty good strategy that is getting reprints to cards like Guiding Quim very soon, making the deck really accessible. Crimson King is a fan favorite by yours truly and is getting support. And Trap Tricks, I'm calling the police. Bro, I'm telling you, there's only one way you can get your honor back if you are a Trap Tricks player. I understand that it is a viable XC deck and the only XC deck that I will talk about that's budget on this list, but in all seriousness, if none of those are interesting to you, I actually want to tell you about ninjas. My guy, have you found yourself with the ninja way? I don't know to anybody else that's gotten first place with Ninja at a regional event, but yours truly has done it. And I'm telling you, Ninja is a very fun deck to play. It's going to start off this video with being the least expensive, but also it is a strategy that is the least competitive. Still really fun though. I like that Ninja has a ton of interactions that are very niche. Like, for example, being able to flip your opponent's monsters face down with Book of Eclipse and then being able to tribute them off with your new Jitsu Art Trap card. It's actually not a terrible strategy, especially in a format where monsters need to be able to stay face up to be able to lead linked off. I think that Ninjas is going to be the beginning entry, and getting this deck probably going to run you about $20. Seriously, big dog, there's probably no better value for your budget. Ninja is cheaper than the structure decks that I mentioned. But let's say for some reason you don't like ninjas, which I think is almost a criminal offense, especially if you decide to go Sky Strikers over them. Bro, I'm not here to tell you that Ray is 15. But Ray is 15. If you can ignore being that one player at your Yu-Gi-Oh locals that most people will side-eye, then Sky Striker may be the deck for you. Bro, I'm just giving you the heads up. I'm not saying you're like them, but You pick Sky Striker. Sky Striker is a spell-based Link Yu-Gi-Oh deck that is built on being able to destroy boards. And what's so incredibly good about Sky Striker right now is that incredibly powerful spell cards like Triple Tactics Talent and Mind Control, which just so happens to be an amazing card right now, are incredibly cheap. What Sky Striker wants to do is allow the opponent to go first and then use the spell cards to be able to trade with your opponent's effects. Pretty much the main goal of this deck is to get 3 spell cards in the graveyard so your Sky Striker spell cards can be insane. Cards like Sky Striker Mobilize Engage not only get you a card from your deck to your hand, you also can draw a card. Then there's Afterburners and Jamming Waves. I'm sorry, Jamming Waves sounds like a good, think about it. Jamming Waves. You want to say it. I think where Sky Striker's most power comes from is from cards like Sky Striker Mecha Widow Anchor and Shark Cannon. These cards allow you to disrupt your opponent by taking their monsters and using it for your own. So even if you can't afford really powerful cards like SP Little Knight, you can always take your opponent's quarter century rare. Mine. Yes. The best thing about not having the cards is using your opponents against them. Sky Striker will easily run you at the cheapest about that $40 range, but let's just say you're not interested in any jail sentences and you want a deck that's probably in the GX era that's really powerful. You would probably be surprised if I told you Jaden's deck is actually good. Technically both of them. While Yugioh may be a little bit too expensive, heroes are actually in the perfect meta. One of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh right now is Dimension Shifter, which can banish all cards in the graveyard. Well, heroes just so happen to have a way to summon their very own Dimension Shifter and Masked Hero Darklaw, which can also punish the opponent from searching. That card is incredibly good against some of the best decks in the meta, but the deck is not just a one-trick pony. It can pivot to cards like Destiny Hero Plasma to be able to negate all of your opponent's monsters and easily OTK. And I think one of the best things about heroes is, like some of the other strategies that I said before, this is a deck that will always get support. For some reason, Konami absolutely loves this deck, and there's probably more hero archetype cards than any other archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! In case you were looking for a build that you could probably reference, I just so happen to have made a deck profile last week that you can check out. It even has budget options for those players to get you at about that $50 range. I'll even have some test lands, and I'll be putting updated deck lists on my Patreon as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. It's kind of crazy how heroes are actually third on this list because, like I said before, the decks are getting more and more competitive, but still staying in that $50 range. The next deck that I want to talk to you about actually did do well over the course of last weekend and topped a regional. Dinomorphia, boys! Seriously? Bro! I ain't gonna cap, Chi. This deck cheap. When you consider the Dinomorphia cards themselves, it's probably going to be in the similar range of ninjas. You are going to spend maybe $20 max for every single Dinomorphia card that you need. The difference is what gets you is some of those other cards you may be looking for. And I know it seems a little bit tricky, but Dinomorphia is based on losing life points to make your monster stronger. I just want to find the dude that has 69 life points and wins consistently on that number.
Nice.
Dinomorphia is incredible almost for the same reason that heroes are. Dinomorphia Rexstorm is similar to Destiny Hero Plasma as it negates all of your opponent's monster effects whose attack is higher than your life points. So if you can find a monster that's lower than 69 attack, then you can activate the effect, but I think that that's doubtful. There's also really powerful trap cards like Ferret Flames, which allows you to be able to shuffle monsters on your opponent's side of the field, so their monsters on the field attack total equals to your life points. And with trap cards like Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike actually becoming incredibly good, Dinomorphia has found a niche to be a really powerful deck. Now, I don't think that the deck will get any more direct support, but anytime trap cards that come out that say pay life points, they tend to be pretty decent in the deck. Right now, there's a trap card called Iron Thunder, which allows you to basically be another Solemn Judgment, but also has the benefit of potentially getting rid of your opponent's cards in the same column. Everybody is activating cards in columns to dodge infinite impermanence. Ironically, that can be your key to be able to destroy more cards on their field if you play your cards right. Dinomorphia has seen recent success, but the last strategy is actually the king of budget. I really do appreciate you for staying here this long, so I will reveal to you the ultimate strategy that everybody plays. Fluunderies. Fluunderies. And just like the other two strategies that I mentioned before, Fluunderies is similar. Dimension Shifter allows you to be able to have that Masked Hero Darklaw, and cards like Harpy's Featherstorm and Fluunderies Impen allow you to be able to negate your opponent's monster effects. To be honest, Fluunderies is the strongest budget Yu-Gi-Oh deck probably in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't feel safe going out like that. Bro, you guys already know what I'm gonna suggest. This deck is, it's sauce. But the reason why I ain't going out like that is because Sword Soul is easily the best deck. Let's go! Bro, Yu-Gi-Oh players have figured out how to play Dimension Shifter and Sword Soul. It's kind of toxic. Since I did give you 3 strategies that might get you arrested by the feds, I think Sword Soul would be the perfect way to be able to end this video because it's literally at the cusp at about $50. I know, man, Fluendereese is pretty cheap too, but you don't want to be a glue eater, right? What Sword Soul does well is that it teaches players how to synchro summon, and it's a very powerful and fun to play deck. The only problem with Sword Soul is that I don't think that it's getting any support anytime soon. But to be fair, Fluendereese ain't getting no support either, so we're even. At least I hope it doesn't get any support. If you know what's good for you, Konami. You came here for 5 budget decks under 50, and your boy over-delivered by giving you 9. But of course, big dog, I have some more amazing content that you can sink your teeth into if you are a budget player. I have that budget hero deck profile that you can go ahead and watch, and I'll have a budget tier list really soon, getting a little bit more complex if your wallets are slightly bigger. Of course, big dog, I hope you're having a phenomenal day, and I'll catch you on the next one.